Hey, what's up, Shining Otaku? It's Cloud9 here today. And today we're going to talk a bit about why your manga sucks. Writing edition. Now, here's the thing. As someone who is a creative, I don't really like saying this, but as much content as we see come out nowadays, probably more than ever, of creators trying to push to make their own manga, comic, whatever you name it, online, you also have a lot of work out there that is really lacking in terms of the writing. And that's not to say anything necessarily bad about the creators themselves, obviously, because I think the heart is there, the passion is there. But I really want to really shine a light on why a lot of creatives not only need to focus on the writing more, but really need to evaluate how they go about the writing process when creating a comic. I think there's a lot of focus, of course, on just making a interesting concept for a story, but there's not really a real story there, at least when it comes to the characters. And this is something that I've seen, like, for example, the anime director Hayao Miyazaki. We all know who he is. Him state when it comes to the anime industry that there is basically a lack of inspiration there, or to be more exact, that he stated that it's full of otaku, which means the same thing essentially. And I think the same thing applies when it comes to manga, comics, and not just that, but also other forms of media as well, is that there's a lot of fans out there, but you don't really have a lot of creatives really writing to tell a story about something they want to tell, and just using that medium as a vehicle to do so. So today I just wanted to put a couple good tips out there for a lot of people out there who, maybe they've been writing a comic for a while, maybe they've been trying to get the attention of certain readers, and maybe they've gotten people to read maybe the first chapter, first issue, or first few pages, but people really aren't sinking into it. So this is more for those who maybe are just getting started out, or maybe you're just looking for some direction and where to go. This is going to be really basic tips that I think might help a lot of you out there, and that are sure to at least add a little bit more structure if you didn't have any. So the first tip that I want to put out there is the plot of your story is your outfit. What I mean by that is, whenever you're doing a story, the plot is simply the vehicle to carry the characters on. It can pretty much be anything. Just like when you're wearing an outfit, the way you want to think about it is that an outfit is just something that obviously, fits your figure, or unless you want it to be a little bit bigger, but basically something that clothes your being. And basically that's what the story is, or I should say more accurately, the plot of your story is basically just the outfit for your story, or for your characters. So if you have a story, let's say, for example, if you look at something that we all know, let's say the story of Bleach, or even Dragon Ball, let's say Dragon Ball. If you look at Goku, of course, we see the world that he takes place in. It's kind of like a futuristic / prehistoric type of world-esque. But the concept behind Goku's character is that he is a martial artist who wants to fight to become stronger. And with him becoming stronger, he has to face other opponents, one after another. Now, the core of Goku's character, you can technically fit in many other stories. However, of course, it's the whole package that really carries Dragon Ball over. But having an understanding of that particular character, and everything that surrounds it, whether it's futuristic, whether you set the whole story back in time, really doesn't matter. It's more, I would say that's more of your own artistic expression as a writer to determine how you really want the plot to be. But in terms of putting the plot, only focusing on the plot and leaving your characters pretty much behind where they don't really matter, can really lose the reader, because the reader has to have something that they can relate to throughout the course of the story, and that would be the characters. Now, moving on to number 2, that would be to understand the inspiration behind your characters. Basically, what I mean by understanding inspiration behind your characters, there are a lot of people out there who don't understand their characters at all. And what I mean by don't understand their characters, meaning that they've seen shows that they like, and they take a hodgepodge of aspects of these characters, or maybe it's just one character, and end up crafting almost like a fan version of it. So again, if we use Goku as an example, they just think, oh, I really liked Goku. Well, I'm going to make a character that wants to become strong for the sake of becoming strong. And, at the same time, maybe I might change 1 or 2 things about their character, but that's pretty much it. Now, if you were to do that, you better have a good reason for doing that, and you better really understand that character. I think really drawing inspiration from your characters from different places, maybe that you have experience with, is probably the best way to go about that. Not to say that you don't have to, it always has to be something that you've personally experienced. But when you take aspects of existing characters out there to make your own, essentially you're taking someone else's inspirations and trying to make them your inspirations, rather than taking your own inspiration and running with it. It's not to say you can't have certain things influence it, but there's a difference between having your character be influenced. Maybe they have a drive to become stronger, but maybe there's some other kind of motive behind it. Maybe they didn't always have that drive. Maybe it's something that develops later on through the course of their character arc. But always keep that in mind. And then number 3 would be, make sure to always challenge your characters. I can't say that enough. If your character is going through an easy time, and I know as a writer, of course, I can't speak for everybody, because I know some people love to torture their characters. Sometimes it pains me to see at least, the characters that I really like go through a hard time, because, you empathize with them. You don't want to see things happen to them. But if you don't challenge them as much as possible, then you really don't have a story. You need to push that character to the brink. No matter what kind of story this is. So this isn't just relate to action. So I want to make sure I'm clear about that. It's not just action related. This could be in any type of story. You need to make sure that character is always challenged. And that's something I think that we need to see a lot more of within manga, within comics, of course. I would even say within film, but definitely within manga and comics, as time evolves. Of course, you have some creators out there doing that, but it's just something I wanted to state, and I think that might be helpful for a lot of you guys out there. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining today's video. If you did enjoy today's video, go ahead and give it a surging thumbs up, and subscribe to Shining Otaku if you want to see more content going forward. Just don't forget to hit that notifications bell, so that way you get all the updates as they come out. Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you later.